Some of y'all want to hear something good, right? That's why y'all clicked on the track. You thought you was gonna get something. Well, guess what? We aiming at you. Bah! They come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke, but I can see a fake Jake from a long way, way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke. I can see a fake Jake from a long way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke. I can see a fake Jake from a long way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke. I can see a fake Jake from a long way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Now my brothers keep swords and you know that. Light like midnight, black like Kodak. Ready for smoke, cause details like females. We don't share it, they ain't for retail. Just know that the spirit of love, spirit of grace and all of the above. I remember being young, dumb, stupid, riding around, having problems with other brothers I knew nothing about. But now we push community, now we look for unity, trying to get it synergy. A lot of y'all eulogy, may well read. I only come around when the smoke is something to see. You ain't a brother to me, you just a hating Satan. Need to repent for the spirit on you is taken away. Seen this title, thought the story would tell. I guess our people still under us, there ain't no smoke. You won't smoke, so I kinda don't last. The type of brother I wish I gon' pass. You won't smoke, you came for smoke, that's what you gon' get. Aim the cannon at you, let you get smoked down. You won't smoke, so I kinda don't last. The type of brother I wish I gon' pass. You won't smoke, you came for smoke, that's what you gon' get. Aim the cannon at you, let you get smoked down. They come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke, but I can see a fake Jake from a long way, way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke. I can see a fake Jake from a long way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke. Come with the smoke under the coat. I've been younger before, dumber and broke. I can see a fake Jake from a long way away. Stay in the spirit and watch it just like smoke.
Yeah. What you cooking?
Yeah. This one probably got the angel jamming in the chairs. You call him Jesus, I call him Yahweh. It don't come from the script, it's hella Yaliyah. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shahamashiach. Fake Jews in the name and they scared of us. Break bread with the heathen, I'd rather not. China want war, Russia want war. Babylon, see your time is running out. Yeah, I done read Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel. I feel like I'ma see the King David. I've been cursed since birth, hung with the wrong niggas, uncircumcised. I ate from the wrong table. Was confused before, ain't read the script, and you could tell. I swore it was all fake till I realized how history disappeared. It was coded by a world that won't save you. Yahweh gon' make sure we get it. Lord willing, I get it. Lord willing, I see the day. That's why I ain't trimming on my beard, just trimming on these beards with these fringes on my waist. I don't care about images, just care about building up endurance through my faith. I don't care about images, I just care about building up endurance through my faith. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me. I am thine, save me. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me. I am thine, save me.
I will never forget thy precepts, oh no, no. Oh no. Most High willing, I keep that frame of thought. And that's most High willing. Everyday battling flesh, getting ready for the war. That's why I gotta repent, pray fast, move on. I am thine, save me, because thine enemies make up some old plan of schemes. That's why the world waxing weak, gave up the world and the we to serve the Lord as my King. We got the faith, yeah, we believe. Sooner than later, you gon' see. Every eye shall see, every knee shall bow. Wow, that's power. If you fit the curses in Deuteronomy well, that power is ours. Time is running out if you ain't on the boat like the days of Noah. 2 Peter 3 and 6, I go 2-7. Work out your salvation, gave me the precepts. I pray that I live by them, running this race. I'm enduring to the end. Pray I'm enduring to the end. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Gave me the precepts. I pray that I live by them. Running this race. Pray I'm enduring to the end. Pray I'm enduring to the end.
My water straight from the throne. We built the altar with the unhewn stones. Roam through the city, all we seeing is these bones. So my face like flint till I wake a couple souls. A prophet hated by his own, so the father sent his son to bring the tribes of Jacob home. Jumping through these traps, cause they trying to see us gone. But we walking through the fire just like Daniel and his bros. From every sheep to her zone, we stay inside the book because the book is all we own. Heritage and you better hold it on. We like David fighting giants with no armor and a stone. We face east cause a car home. We face east just to call home. We can't sleep till we all home. We won't rest till they all gone. So I guess that we be calling out they all bones. Bless the seed, invest the deep in the laws of our God. Niggas Elohim, Shema, Warapah, all the Zod, Nakim, Barakatah, Yahweh, and Mashad, Nakim. Bless the seed, invest the deep in the laws of our God. Niggas Elohim, Shema, Warapah, all the Zod, Nakim, Barakatah, Yahweh, and Mashad, Nakim. From Bereshit to the books in Greek, the dragon took the sheep. Man, the book complete. The father looked for peace, but we shouldn't the beast. Now we up until our power put the hook in cheek. Shema, Yasha Allah, Abanawa, Yahweh, Ahad. He the tower till he give us the power of God. Though in the tower you will never devour a tribe. The Lord despised all you devils, your hours arrived. Bless the seed that kept the peace. Never forgot the poor and he kept the feast. We trying to dodge destruction, they can't stop the sea. Barakatah, Yahweh, and Mashad, Nakim. Bless the seed that kept the peace. Never forgot the poor and he kept the feast. Trying to dodge destruction, they can't stop the sea. Barakatah, Yahweh, and Mashad, Nakim.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Barakatam. We give all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High, right? Thanking him for just allowing us to see another day, man, for real, for real. You know, hey, we going through a lot. Israel is going through a lot. Believe, man, those tests, those tribulations, those trials, they go keep on going. Hey, but we give all praise to the Most High for giving us the strength and the ability to be able to endure all these trials that come up against us, right? So we got Captain Judah up in here. He's got a announcement, but this is Walla Wednesday, so we go get into some news, of course, before we start everything, and then right after that, I'm gonna go into a little bit of a lesson, right? It's on Revelation 12. I said that I was gonna do it. So we're going to bring that out. We're going to break that down. Captain Yonatan, that, you know, he kind of touched on it before in the past, but we're going to go into depth on tonight. But before we get into all that, I'm going to pass the mic over to the mighty captain.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, yes, Allah, Shalom, Yahbashim, Yahushua, Barakatah. All right, hey, man, listen, once again, Passover, all right, Passover weekend, April 3rd. Hey, Howard, mute up real quick, King, real quick. All right, yeah, I know your neighbors got their dogs going crazy in the background. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Shalom, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Yahbashim, Yahushua, Barakatah. All right, listen, Passover weekend, April 3rd is coming up. Listen, the itinerary is going to drop soon, man. We're going to start with a unity camp on Friday night. I think it's going to be amongst brothers, but so I can't really say it's a unity camp. But, if you're under the sound of my voice and you are in another congregation, feel free to come through. All right, we're going to be on the streets Friday night. We're going to be teaching late into the night where the clubs be at on the strip down the street from Little 5 Points. So make sure y'all are there for that. All right. And also, all right, Saturday, we're in Little 5 Points again. All right, Saturday on the Shabbat. I believe we'll be there around 3 or 4 o'clock. We're going to be having camp. You know what I'm saying? All the brothers are going to be there. So brothers and sisters, make sure you're in the building. Bring your chairs out, the whole 9 yards, so we can go out there and teach the people. Sunday, we're going to be having a cookout. You know what I'm saying? The whole 9 yards. And then Monday, we got Passover. Listen, we got a lot of RSVPs, but people are kind of slow on getting their payments in for Passover. Listen, if you need more time to send in your payments, that's fine. Just shoot us an email. Let us know. Hey, I still plan on attending. Just give me like a week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it's no problem. We want y'all in the building. We want you in the building. Your presence at Passover is more important. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you get in the building. You got to go through the whole process, though. All right, so when you send that email for Passover and we send you that link, make sure you are filling that link out. All right, when you fill that link out, that's how you have officially RSVP for Passover. All right, so if you have not gotten a link to RSVP for Passover, send us an email, AnointedHOS@gmail.com. We'll send you a link. Fill out that link in its entirety. Once you finish that, you'll be officially RSVP, but your spot is not secured until you go ahead and pay for your spot in the building. All right, so hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're having troubles, hit us up. All right, because this is an important feast. So we want to make sure you get in the building. All right, so go ahead and make sure you send in those RSVP emails. Make sure you send in those payments in. Brothers and sisters in the background put it together a beautiful Passover for y'all. So y'all want to make sure that y'all are in the building. All right, so we just ask that you do that for us so we can go ahead and get everything squared away for you guys for this Passover, man. All right, so hey, we want to see y'all in the building for our Passover, new moons, first fruits, tabernacles. We want y'all in the building. So make sure y'all are, you know what I'm saying, doing your due diligence so you can meet us in Atlanta on April 3rd, man. So with that, I yield.
All right, Khan, all praises. So yeah, we go get into this lesson, Israel. Without further ado, again, hey, I want to give a Tawada big shout out to everybody for all of y'all joining and being with us on tonight. So we go get some shalawams real quick out to everybody, and of course, shalawam to everyone who's going to join late, and somewhat shalawam to everybody who's just going to tune in, after the broadcast is over. But I hope and pray that it is an edifying lesson for you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get some shalawams. Shemaiah, if you don't mind, shout out the people from the King.
Shalom. DTA21, what's up, man? Yaikwab, Shalom. Tawabia, Shalom. Ayasha, Shalom, sis. Azaniah, Shalom. Naeem, Shalom. John Gilchrist, Shalom. Kazakia, Shalom. John Allen, Shalom. Kodash, Shalom. Nadiab, Shalom. Boaz, Shalom. Abaya the humble. Abijah the humble. Kadar Aran, Shalom. Zephaniah, Shalom. Michelle, Shalom. Zanaya, Shalom. Azaniah, Shalom. Christina, Shalom. GW, Shalom. Zahira? I think that's Zariah. Shalom. Forgive me if I've messed up your name. 12 tribes scattered, Shalom.
That's right. Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, and to all the saints. Hey, to all the saints, keep enduring, man. We got next. Hey, for real. But nevertheless, we go ahead and get into some news. Like I said, I'm always gonna put these devils on blast, for everything that they've done to our people. So we gonna keep on bring this up. Kind real quick. Sorry, just got hit up. We gonna get Mighty Captain Yakim up in here as well too. But nevertheless, let me go ahead and get this article up. Actually, I got 2 different articles that I want to bring up. One of these y'all definitely go remember. One of them you may not have heard of. So I'm gonna bring the one up first that I know everybody remember when this happened. When these devils, they killed our sister. This happened yesterday. I didn't get the one for today. I got the one from yesterday. So yesterday on March 13th, 3 years ago, March 13th, right? Breonna Taylor was killed, right? So go ahead, King, if you can go ahead and start reading out this article. I know y'all remember, but still.
On March 13, 2020, Louisville police officers shot and killed Breonna Taylor during a nighttime no-knock raid of her apartment. Miss Taylor, who was 26, worked as an emergency room technician and dreamed of becoming a nurse. Shortly after midnight on March 13th, Miss Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, awoke to the sound of a loud banging of their apartment door. Mr. Walker believed someone was trying to break into their home. And when several men forced their way inside the apartment using a battering ram, he fired his licensed firearm in self-defense. Mr. Walker struck one officer in the leg, and the officer fired back, hitting Miss Taylor at least 5 times. According to Mr. Walker, Miss Taylor struggled to breathe for at least 5 minutes after she was shot and received no medical attention for over 20 minutes. Mr. Walker.
Hold on. What kind of, how do they not render no medical attention for 20 minutes? Cops got to be trained in first aid. So you telling me that this woman sat there struggling for 20 minutes without anyone trying to perform CPR or do anything or to help her? Man, go ahead.
Mr. Walker was taken into custody and charged with attempted murder of a police officer, though the charges were dismissed in May of 2020. The officers, who were plainclothes during the raid, had been executing a no-knock warrant, which allowed police to forcibly enter people's homes without warning. Louisville officials have since banned no-knock warrants. The warrant has been issued as a part of an investigation. Hold on. Right there. More than 10 miles from Miss Taylor's home. Police asserted that one of the men used Mrs. Taylor's apartment to receive packages, but no drugs were found in the apartment. And attorneys for Mr. Walker and Miss Taylor's family later reported that the police had already located the main suspect in the case before they broke into Miss Taylor's home.
All right. Hey, I want you to go ahead and jump down to the March of 2023.
Okay. In March 2023, a Justice Department investigation into the Louisville Metro Police Department details serious misconduct and widespread discrimination against Black residents, including unlawful car stops, uses of excessive force, and harassment. Breonna Taylor was a symptom of problems that we had for years. One unarmed police leader told the DOJ shortly after the investigation began.
Right. So, and how many of our people are routinely discriminated against by these boys, pulled over, stopped, harassed? I can count. Salakia, I can't count on one hand how many times that's happened to me. It's happened to me numerous times, getting pulled over for no reason at all. Right, being stopped, going for maybe 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit. You got cars flying past me, but they go pull me over. Right, license, registration. Right, they look for any reason to be able to stop and harass us. Right, and I know in the comments In fact, I don't even have to ask, but if you've ever been harassed by these crackers, put a 7 in the chat if that's ever happened to you. Because it's not an isolated event. It routinely happens. Smile. I know you've been harassed by them boys before.
Yeah, I'm in Texas, so you know I have.
See there? So I mean, it's routine, man. The things that we have to deal with, the things that we come under, right? And now they killed our sister, man. There go them 7s, right? See, it happens nonstop, right? These people they ain't for us. They don't care about us. They're scared of us. If anything, they fear us, right? That's why they quick to shoot first and ask questions later. Oh, that's the article I meant to put. I'll probably put it up next week. But there was a news story of cops let off over 100 rounds at a brother shooting at his car. Let off 100 rounds because they said they thought they saw a gun, and it was nothing but the Most High that this brother lived through that. Nothing but the Most High.
And I'm
Shalom, family.
Shalom,
Shalom. How about Shalom? Shalom.
I know you've been harassed. I know
it. Yeah, I've had my share in my day.
Hey, but now quick question, Adawan, because I know that you was in law enforcement too, wasn't you?
That's right.
Right now, I read a report once that there was an off-duty cop. In fact, I seen a video. They had an FBI agent, a so-called black FBI agent, was out. You saw that? Was out doing this thing and got harassed was getting harassed by the people.
Yeah.
And he ended up, he gave him his wallet. He was like, yeah, here go my ID, right? And when they seen he was the FBI, they was they're looking stupid.
Right.
They know what to do.
Yeah, that's happened to a military guy too.
When he was at the gas station.
He was at the gas station. That's
exactly
right.
I seen that one. Con. All right. And
then Salaki, I just want to let the people know these people are afraid of you. Esau is afraid of the black man and woman, and anything that you do if you say something against them, they already done amped it up to a whole nother level. They going in on red alert from the jump, but as soon as you say something, it's going to the next level. Yeah, it's wicked out here. I had to get on a couple of people that worked up under me doing that mess, and I told them, I said, listen, I drag you out here. It's crazy. I'm talking about the cops. I was telling cops that. I said, well, I ain't playing that game. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Esau gonna pay his dues. He gonna get his in the end.
All right. It don't look like they're gonna let me pull this one up. See, I have to use 2 different browsers to be able to share something to the StreamYard, but I'm just gonna share the top of it so you guys can see. You guys can go and look at this article on your own later, but it's crazy. And this is an old article, but it says black man was dismembered, right? So this so-called black man was decapitated, and now his family. Well, before it happened, he called his people. He called his mama, and he tells his mama that he's being chased by white guys. Some white guys is in the truck. They chasing him. So he calls his mama, lets his mama know that while he's trying to get away. Anyway, they find him. They find the man. He's decapitated, but they come back and say there was no foul play in it. This is an old story. If you guys get a chance, Google this black man dismembered and look at what happened to this brother and how these crackers came back trying to say that there was no foul play, right? These are the things that we have to go up against on a regular basis. But with that, I'm gonna drop that, and we're gonna get into this lesson. So the title of the lesson is "A Woman in the Sky," and we're gonna be dealing with Revelation, Revelation chapter 12. We're gonna get into it. Like I said, Captain Yonatan, he had touched on it in one of his classes. So we go look at it. We gonna go into some more depth about it. Now, if you're a part of the body, take notes. Even if you're not part of the body, get your pen, get your paper, and take some notes so that when you're dealing with these Christians or anybody else, and they start trying to go into talking about what the woman in the sky is. I've heard a whole bunch of crazy different breakdowns about who the woman in the sky. I've heard breakdowns that the woman in the sky has to deal with the constellations, and they start bringing up the Virgo and the stars that are around her head and things like that. That's not what that means. These people do not have a good understanding of what the Bible is talking about. So we go get into that and break that thing down. So let's go ahead. Let's jump to the book of Revelation. We're going to start at Revelation chapter 12, and we'll get verse 1. Now, real quick, even before we get into that also, so understanding how the Bible is written, right? When you understand how the Bible is written, the type of language that is written in, right? The type of imagery that's used, you have to understand that, right? If you don't have a solid concept on how the Bible is written, you will be lost, right? So the Bible is actually written, and I do apologize, Salakia. I don't have my slides. My slides are unable to load. So if you got a pen, paper, you can just write it down. So the Bible is written, one of the words, and this is called literary devices, right? So the Bible uses literary devices in the writing, okay? Now, one of the literary devices that the Bible uses, of course, is symbolism. So there's symbolism that's used. There's metaphors, right? There's similes, right? And then there's what's called anthropomorphism. Now, that one I am actually going to pull up that definition for you guys to get that and to be able to see what anthropomorphism is. Because once you understand this, then understanding the Bible as a whole is going to be a lot easier, right? So, for instance, real quick, before we even do that, Adawan, can you grab Slakia, the book of Genesis, chapter 2, and let's start at verse 1, just to give a quick example.
Khan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim said, ended his work which he had made.
Salakia, Adawan, Salakia, my fault. I mean, grab 3 for me. 3 and 1.
Oh, 3 and 1? Khan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh the power had made.
Right? It said the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. So now, when we first learned the Bible, I was always taught and believed my entire life that when the Bible is speaking here of a serpent, that is actually speaking of a literal serpent, right? I was raised up and thought to believe that Adam and Eve was the only 2 people that was on the earth, that they was running around the jungle or garden butt naked, and Eve was one day wandering off by herself naked, and a walking, talking snake walked up to her and started speaking to her. That's what I believe, right? But now we know that there is no walking snake that was speaking to Eve in the garden. So what this is an example of anthropomorphism, right? And so let me bring this up, and I'm going to get this definition shared with you. Okay, there it is right there. So anthropomorphism, this is from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Samaya, if you could read that definition.
Okay. An interpretation of what is not human or personal in terms of human or personal characteristics. Humanization.
Humanization, right? So it's giving these attributes, right, to an animal. So when we look at the snake in the garden, and I'm not finna do no breakdown on that, right? Not today. But when we look at that, it's not speaking of a literal snake, right? That's not what that's saying. Okay, but this is an example of anthropomorphism, right? And so again, so the Bible it speaks it metaphorically, it speaks symbolically, it uses similes, and it uses anthropomorphism, right, to explain and to tell stories. So now this is just a literary device that is used in I almost did something. All right, this is just a literary device used in the scriptures. All right, so now let's go ahead and in fact, before we go into Revelation chapter 12, I want to pull a couple of scriptures real quick. Let me get the book of Isaiah chapter 28. Of course, this is a milk scripture, Isaiah 28, and give me verse 9, right? Because we have to get an understanding. Right, we understand the Bible through the Bible, right? Give me that. The book of Isaiah, chapter
28:9.
Yes, sir.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9. Who shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Right, so here a little, there a little. So precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Right, who shall he teach knowledge? Right, who shall he give understanding? Right, you have to be weaned from the milk. So now, what's the milk? I mean, we got Milk Mondays where Captain Eliel is going over milk. He's teaching you guys milk. You have to first get off of the milk, right? What's milk? Milk is the law. First, if you're not keeping the law, you definitely not gonna be able to understand even any of the deeper sayings or anything that the Bible is talking about, right? So you gotta first be in the law. You gotta first be keeping the law, right? And then it says, here a little and there a little, right? Here a little, there a little. That's how we understand the Bible. Okay, you can't just read it straight through like it's a book because you're not going to understand anything, right? In fact, let me get the book of Psalms chapter 119 and verse 104.
Time. This is the book of Psalms chapter 119 and verse 104. Through thy precepts,
through thy what?
Through thy precepts, I get understanding.
Right? We get our understanding through the precepts. You're not going to get that understanding without the precepts. Come on.
Right. Therefore, I hate every false way.
So every false way. So anytime somebody's telling you, oh, I think this means that, or I believe this. No, through our precepts, I get understanding. So I hate every false way. So if you're not giving me the understanding through the precepts, I don't want to hear it.
That's right.
Don't come and don't bring me nothing. Right? Only Israel, only the nation of Israel understands this Bible. Right? And so in dealing with the book of Revelation, chapter 12, we get people who are not of the nation, who think they have understanding, who think they know what it's saying, and they're trying to give us what it means. They're interpreting what it means. And we have many of our own pastors, preachers, who are supposed to be teachers, who have learned their doctrine from these people who go to cemetery school, and get their understanding, right? And then start teaching us wrong and ass backwards. Okay, right. No, through thy precepts I get understanding. Let me grab one more. Give me Job 11:6, Baba Cashapp. And so now again, understanding how the Bible is written, right? We have to understand that it has dual meanings, right? Right. Bring that out for me.
Time. This is the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. And that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is.
They are what?
They are double to that which is.
Right. So the scriptures that have dual meaning to them, right? And so we're going to be looking at that, and we have to examine Revelation 12 under that concept, right? That the scriptures will have dual meanings, right? And we have to understand that we cannot just take Revelation literal, exactly what it says, right? Right. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. Let's start at Revelation chapter 12 and verse 1.
All right, so book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
All right, so now that Revelation 12 and 1, so it says that there appeared a wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and moon, right? She had 12 stars, a crown of 12 stars. Now, like I was saying in the beginning, right? I've heard other nations try to say, oh, this is talking about the stars. This is talking about astrology, right? When you see this astrology in the sky, well, that's what this is talking about. No, that's not what this is talking about. Now, I've heard some who actually have the correct breakdown of what this is talking about, right? But even then, they're still off, right? So let's see what is or who is this woman, right? This great wonder that appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and Salakia, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So let's first go to Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. And if brothers got any precepts, as always, bring those out.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. And it reads, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
Right? He has likened the daughter of Zion. Who is Zion? Right? Who is this that is being spoken of? Right? This is the nation of Israel. We are likened unto a woman, to a delicate and comely woman. Okay? Let's go to the book of Genesis 37 and verse 9. And so again, we define the Bible with the Bible. Line upon line, precept upon precept.
So book of Genesis chapter 37 and verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more.
So while this is being brought out, I'm going to ask the chat. So we want to keep y'all interactive. We want to keep y'all working with us, right? Who is dreaming this dream? Who is the person dreaming this dream, right? And who is he speaking to? Go ahead. Start that back from the top.
The book of Genesis chapter 37 and verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me.
Salakia, you tripping. It ain't no John. What is you talking about? Okay. She corrected herself. all right. He said,
They think he's talking about Revelations, King.
God.
Oh,
That's right. Kazak, Joseph speaking to his brothers. That's right. Joseph speaking to his brothers. Joseph. All right. Gary. Hey, Gary. If that GW, if that's Gary, hey, throw a 7 in the chat for me so I can know if that's you or not. I think that's Gary, but I ain't for sure.
I got a precept when you get done with this one.
Okay, calm. All right, so this is Joseph, and he's telling his dream, right? He's speaking to his brothers. All right, read. Somebody get that one more time. Read that again.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me.
All right, he said the sun and the moon and the 11 stars. All right, now he said they made obedience to me. Now look, dig it. Now again, Revelation chapter 12, verse 1, it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Right, we already seen that Israel is likened to a woman. It said a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So if he's talking to his 11 brothers, right, those would be 11 stars. Who's going to be the 12th? Right. So this is what verse 1, we get the context already in verse 1 about who this is talking about. It's talking about the nation of Israel, right? The whole Bible is dealing with the nation of Israel. I know all these other nations want to try to include themselves in it. You know, they think, oh, well, you know what, that was the Most High was dealing with Israel then, but you know, now in this dispensation, he's dealing with the other nations. Like, the whole Bible is dealing with the nation of Israel. The book of Revelation is dealing with the nation of Israel.
God.
It's like Adam, what's that precept you had?
I got that precept. It's a good one too. Y'all better write this one down. It's Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 5 and 6. Pay attention. For thy maker is thine husband. The Yahweh of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called. Verse 6. For Yahweh hath called thee as a woman forsaken, grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou hast refused, saith thy God. See, the Most High looks at Yasha Allah as a woman, which is his bride, who he cut loose.
That's right.
He cut her loose, and he said he's going to redeem her in the end. And that's what we are in Revelations right now. That's another what do you call a metaphor to show that Israel is that woman and Yahweh is the husbandman.
That's right. That's right. That's a heavy precept. Right? Hey, you can't get around these things. And this is what I'm saying. When you start using the Bible to define the Bible, right? Instead of trying to come up with your own theology and trying to philosophize, you know, about what's being said, when you just use the Bible, man, you cannot go wrong. So don't let these slick talking, smooth talking preachers, you know, have you believe in something else. All right, let's go ahead. Give me verse 2.
Verse 2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
So now this is one of those scriptures, right, that you can look at and say, okay, this has dual meaning to it, right? So the first precept I want to grab is give me Micah chapter 4 and verse 10, right? Because this is talking still about the nation of Israel, but I'm going to show you who else is talking about also, right? Which is still Israel, either way. All right, so give me Micah chapter 4 and verse 10.
God. This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, and verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail.
Like what?
Like a woman in travail.
Okay, come on.
For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. And
Right.
thou shalt
Hey, so
go.
Israel was going to go into captivity. Right? They was going to go out of the city. They were going to go into captivity. Right? It said be in pain. You know, like a woman travailing. Right? Come on.
Con, there shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
See there again. Hey, who's being redeemed from their enemies? Israel. Ain't nobody else. It's Israel being redeemed from their enemies. Luke 1:68 tells you that. It's Israel being redeemed for their enemies. Salvation is for Israel. Right? It's not speaking to nobody else. It's speaking to us. Right? We're the ones that need to be redeemed. The Most High is going to be the one to redeem us. Okay, so now when you look at Revelation 12, let's get that again. Start that from the top.
Revelation 12 from the top. And there appeared a great.
I like it. 12 and 2.
Revelation 12 and verse 2.
Okay.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
So this is talking about the nation of Israel, but who else is it also talking about? Well, it's talking about Yahushua, right? So let's go ahead. Let's get Luke chapter 2 and verse 6. Right? Because scriptures, they have, dual meanings to them. All right?
This is the book of Luke chapter 2 and verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger.
Who is this talking about? Put it up in the chat. Who is this speaking of? Right? So can no other nation insert themselves in here? This is dealing specifically with the nation of Israel, and it's dealing with Yahushua. It's talking about Yahushua. All right, the Messiah, Khan. Right? All right, let's go on to Revelation 12 and let's get verse 3.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Now, Salakia, right there, right? So now is there, and I had asked this question before. I don't know if my mama is on the class or not. She be watching. My mama's coming to the truth now. All praise to the Most High. We was dealing with Revelation 12, and she was saying that my little brother was like, oh yeah, if the Bible said that there was a red dragon in heaven, who are we to say that it ain't? So I said, bruh, do you really think that there was a literal red dragon with, what did it say, 7 heads and 10 horns in the Bible, or excuse me, in the sky? And I said, and I had to ask him, I said, and then this says in heaven, right? So was there a literal dragon? In fact, not just a literal dragon, but a literal woman in heaven, right? And this woman being chased by this dragon. I said, is that what you're telling me? Does that sound logical? Well, no, it's the Bible, and the Bible is spiritual. And if the Bible say it, then yeah, I believe it. I'm like, okay, bro. So let's get the understanding of what is talking about when it speaks about this red dragon. All right. So first, I want to get the book of I don't have it in my notes. Grab me Ezekiel 29, and I think it's 2 or 3. Give me the book of Ezekiel 29.
God. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 29, and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
It says, set thy face against who?
King of Egypt.
Okay, come on.
And prophesy against him.
Uh-huh.
And against all Egypt.
Come on.
Speak and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers.
You said the great what?
The great dragon.
All right, so now it's giving Pharaoh, right? This it's likening him to a dragon, right? But is this the dragon that's being talking about or spoke about in Revelation, right? Give me the book of Job 30 and verse 29.
So it's the book of Job.
Compare men to animals, right? Or beasts, and beasts or animals to men. Okay.
It's the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 29.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Okay. I am a brother to dragons and a companion. I am a brother to dragons.
He is a brother to dragons. Is he talking about he's an actual brother to dragons? Is this Game of Thrones? Y'all seen that show? Game of Thrones, where you got the woman who talk about she's a mother of dragons.
God.
And she got the dragons who she called her children.
That's right.
Is this what this is talking about? Because that's what Esau does, right? And so we get all this mysticism from Esau, and we start believing it too. Oh yeah, dragon. You know, it's a dragon in heaven. You know, a red dragon with 10 heads. You know, and crowns on his head or on his horns. What did it say? Read that again in Job.
I am a brother to dragons.
I am a brother to dragons. Right now, with that, we go jump to Genesis. Let's go Genesis 25. Right, we go get Genesis 25 and let's start at verse 22.
God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 22. Mm-hmm. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
If it be so, why am I going through this? Right? Because it was prophesied that she was gonna, bring forth these kids, these children.
God.
Right? Come on.
And she went in to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb. Two nations are in thy womb.
Two nations are in thy womb. Come on.
And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Come on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Read on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
All right, so now when it's time for her to give birth, right? Remember, there's two nations. There's two manner of people in her womb, right? So now she's giving birth to these twins. Okay, read.
And the first came out red.
And the first came out what?
And the first came out red. All over like a hairy garment.
So that first son came out red all over, right? Like a hairy garment. Now, it said, we ain't making this up. So people want to try to tell us, oh, you guys are, you're hate-filled and this, that, and the third, and, blah, 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 blah. But the Bible says that it was going to be two nations. Oh, you guys saying that the white man is Esau? No, the Bible says that. The Bible tells us that. We're not making that up. It said the first came out red all over. So when we go back to Revelation and we see that red dragon, right? What does it say in Job? It says, I am a brother to dragons, right? It gives us the description, red, right? This red dragon is Esau. This red dragon is the Edomite nation, but we're going to prove it, right? I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to prove it that this red dragon is talking about Esau. Adonai, was there any more on that?
Yes, it was.
Con.
I'm going to start from 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
They called him what?
Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
In fact, you know what?
Jacob.
That's right. So this is Esau. This is Jacob. In fact, let's get the precept. This ain't in the notes, but we got to get it. Give me the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6. Y'all know what I want. Because they're trying to tell you, no. That's not Esau. No, Esau ain't the white man. I've heard people say Esau is the Arabs. Oh, Esau is us. You trying to make Esau the the white man, but it was Jacob's twin. So it's talking about Esau is black. I done heard everything. Right? Come on, get that for me.
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
Right. In fact, bump up one verse above that.
All right. Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
Hey, so like Shalom, Sister Joe, and hey, we can't wait to we'd love to get to meet you in person, sis. So Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right? So if you telling me that Esau ain't the white man, then we still got a long way to go. Right?
Yeah,
right.
We are not at the end yet.
That's right.
Brothers got to think about what they're actually saying, the doctrines that they actually coming up with.
We still got another captivity.
Right. We still got a whole nother captivity. If Esau, the white man, ain't the end of the world, or if the white man ain't Esau, we still got a whole nother captivity to go.
That's right.
But let's jump back to the book of Revelation, chapter 12. Right. Let's get verse 3 again.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
All right, so that great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. So real quick, and you guys can do this on your own, those 7 heads are the 7 major empires. All right, the 7 heads are the 7 major empires. In the chat, if you know what those empires are, throw them in the chat. If you know what those 7 major empires are, that are the 7 heads of this great red dragon. All right. And then it said 7 heads, and then it said it had 10 crowns. Right. So those 10 crowns. Oh, I'm all backwards. So 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Those 7 crowns is basically going into the European Union. All right, that's basically what that's dealing with. Those crowns is the European Union. All right. Anybody got it? What those 7 kingdoms is? I see 7 kingdoms under Rome. Well, Rome is one of the major empires. So I'll give you half a point. Rome is one of the major empires. There it is. There it is. All right. So Russia, Germany, France, Spain, Rome, Greece, and Great Britain. Those are the 7 empires that this scripture is talking about, right? having 7 heads. Those 7 heads are these 7 empires. Make sure you put that in your notes, man. All right. So now let's go ahead. Let's go to verse 4.
Verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
All right, now let's deal with that, right? Because, all right, so now again, who are we talking about? When we started in verse 1, again, y'all, I want y'all to interact with me, right? Don't leave me out here on the island. I want y'all being active in the chat, right? This how we what's it called when sear? This is how we sear that thing in our own mind. We got to talk, right? You got to talk back to me. So
that's right.
Who are we talking about? Who is being dealt with here, right? It's when it says Revelation 12:4. It says, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. What is that saying? Right? What does that mean in the chat? Come on, come on. We just went over it. We just dealt with it. All right, I ain't gonna put the countdown in there. I ain't gonna put the countdown up.
We gonna put the countdown on.
4, 2, 1. Time up. All right, y'all took too long. All right, so when it's talking about those stars, right? It's Israel, right? We're still talking about the nation of Israel, right? Those 12 stars. Remember verse 1, right? This woman, Israel. The 12 stars, Israel. Right now it says his tail drew a third of those stars. Right. So how many tribes is it? Come on, Jack. Come on. How many tribes is it? It's 12, right? 12 stars, 12 tribes. What's the third? What's the third of 12? All right. So anyway, so when it's talking about it drew a third, it's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
That's right.
That's that third that got drew out and cast to the earth, right? In captivity. All right. Sure. The southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right. In fact, let's go to give me the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1. Right. This is going to show you that when it's talking about also it drew those stars out of heaven. It's not talking specifically about, oh yeah, and these stars was in heaven, and these stars. No, let's see what this is talking about.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger? And cast down from heaven.
And did what?
And cast down from heaven unto the earth.
See, that's talking about Israel. So when it's talking about, hey, cast them down to the earth, cast them down from heaven, you know what? Hey, is that talking about a literal heaven? So when we think about heaven, right? So we've got the heaven where the Most High dwells. We've got the heaven where we can look up into the sky and be looking up into the heavens, right? And then heaven is where it's talking about a condition, right? It's not talking about Israel was in literal heaven and got cast down, right? So, Adam, read that for me one more time.
How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger?
Israel, come on.
And cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel.
So he cast them down, right? Hey, Israel went into captivity, right? When it's talking about here, and his tail drew in Revelation 12:4 again, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. That's again the southern kingdom, and did cast them to the earth, right? So this is talking about the southern kingdom. Now, who came out of the southern kingdom? What we just said, we already said it is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, right? Who else came out of who came out of the southern kingdom? So when we go back up to verse 2, and it talks about the child being in pain to be delivered, right? What tribe did Christ come from? Then how Mashiach come from? What tribe is he from? And don't just say it. Give me the precept. I need the precept. I don't want you to just say it. What tribe did Hamashiach, Yahushua, come out of? All right, kind of. I see. There it is, right there. All right, there we go.
Let me get it.
Con, let's get it. Prove all things.
Con. This is Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
That our what?
That our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Con. So now, again, so in context, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with the nation of Israel. We're dealing with the southern kingdom. We are dealing with Christ, Yahushua, right? That's who is being talked about here. Okay, so it said now, again, Revelation 12 and 4, it says, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So now, question, and y'all could put it in chat. Again, we know the dragon, right, is still dealing with this dragon, that great red dragon, which we know is Esau, all right? Who was standing waiting for Christ, right? And I asked, I said to my brother, I was like, yo, so you mean to tell me there's a big great dragon that's waiting to eat up a baby as soon as the baby is born? Is that what you telling me? Right? You don't have no answers, right? That's what happens when you are indoctrinated in Christianity. You can't answer nothing. Nothing makes sense, right? It's all mystical. It's mysticism, right?
That's right.
So there it is right there. So Herod, right? Herod was waiting to kill Christ. Let's get that. Go to Matthew chapter 2 and verse 13.
I got it. This is the book of Matthew chapter 2 and verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
For who?
For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Right. So Herod was waiting to kill Yahushua. Right? When the three wise men, right, came from the east, what was they saying? Hey, we come looking for the king of the Jews.
That's right.
Herod was what at the time? Now, so we got to prove who Herod is, right? Because the scholars know who he is, but we're going to prove it. So watch this. It's right here on the screen, but real quick, let's go up. So who is this talking about, right? This article is dealing with Herod, right? Who was Herod, right? The scholars know. So let's scroll down. The early life and rise to power. Look at that coin. Look at that. All right. But Shemai, go ahead and let's get that. Start off with the early life and rise to power.
All right. The early life and rise to power. Herod was born in Palestine in 73 BCE. His father, Antipater, was a Roman appointed Judean official. Antipater was an Edomite.
He was a
descendant of
Edomite. Hold on. Yeah, don't run over that. All right. Read that one more time.
Antipater was an Edomite. A descendant of Esau.
A descendant of Esau. So Herod's father was an Edomite.
That's right.
Okay. So now when we say that the white man, so-called, is Esau, where are we getting this from? Are we just making this stuff up?
They telling on themselves.
They telling on themselves. And look, it's already right there. So we got to, I was going there, right? So Herod's father, who was an Edomite, so let's get this. Somebody grab that precept.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers. You are determined by the house of your father. Herod would then be an Edomite.
That's right.
All right. So let's go back to the book of Revelation, right? Because they'll tell you, oh no, this ain't talking about Esau. This ain't talking about the nation of Esau. Okay, give me Revelation chapter 12, and let's get verse 5 again.
Verse 5.
Oh, Salakia.
Verse 4.
Verse 4, yeah,
Revelation 12 and 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and he did cast them to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
So now in the book of Revelation, when it's talking about this dragon, it's not talking about a literal dragon. Okay, this is poetic language that is being used here, or Salagi, not poetic language, but this is what was that? An it's anthropomorphism, right? That's a little tongue twist of a word for me anyway, right? So this is what's being used, anthropomorphism, right? It's not a little dragon, okay? It's the nation of Esau is an Edomite. We just proved that Herod is an Edomite. So he was an illegitimate king. He's not the king of Israel. He wasn't the king of Israel. Hey, that's why he wanted to kill Yahushua. He knew that he wasn't supposed to be on the throne in the first place. So when they came to him talking about, hey, we come to worship the king of the Jews, we seen this start. He like, hold up, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He knew what his lineage was. Man, don't get it twisted, man. We got to stop letting these people try to teach us our book. Stop letting these people try to teach us our scriptures.
That's right.
Right? All right, let's go back to Revelation 12. Give me verse 5.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 5. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne.
So it says that she brought forth a man child, right? So this is Mary bringing forth Yahushua, right? Who is going to rule all nations with what? With the rod of iron, right? And it says, and her child was caught up unto God to his throne, right? Give me the book of Acts, chapter 1. The book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 9. Because the child was caught up, right? When was the child caught up?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up.
He was what?
He was taken up.
Okay, who? In fact, let's find out who is this talking about. Let's jump up one.
Verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Why the uttermost parts of the earth? Because we were scattered.
That's right.
Right? So this is Yahushua. He's talking to his disciples, right? That's right. It's Christ. All right. Come on.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Right. And he was taken up, and a cloud received him. What now? Somebody tell me, what's the cloud? What's the cloud that received him? Are we talking about this little pillowy things that we see in the sky? Huh? What is that?
Yes, you got it.
Cloud, all right?
Ayasha got it. Sister Ayasha, she on the point with this thing.
Chariot.
She always be on it.
She out doing the brothers.
I know, y'all. Hey, y'all really should be ashamed because brothers, hey, y'all out there quiet. I could see who's studying, who ain't. All right, so Yahushua was taken up. So when in Revelation 12:5, when it says and the child was caught up, it's talking about Christ. Christ being he was taken up in a chariot, right? In fact, hey, Adawan, do me a favor, read the next verse.
Where was I at?
Acts 1, and let's get verse. I think you should be at 10, verse 10.
This is Acts 1 and 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven?
Why y'all looking up just, stuck? Come on.
This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Right? So, so the same way that Christ left, being caught up in that chariot, right? He's coming back the same way in them chariots, right? Hey, that's why they so fascinated on these unidentified flying objects. That's why they trying to come up with all of these space soldiers and space armies, right? What was Donald Trump trying to do? Donald Trump was trying to get his space army together to combat, things in space. Why they doing that? Because they already know what time it is.
Got a precept.
They know how Yahushua coming back, that he's coming back in that chariot. They think they go fight against the Messiah coming back with his. Come on, Adam, bring out that precept.
But they really do think that, though.
Yeah, they do. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Come on. Boy, that thing give me goosebumps, man. Can y'all imagine that though?
God.
Man, this in the sky filled with them chariots. Hey, these devils think they go fight against the Messiah. God. These devils thinking that they nuclear missiles gonna be able to do anything. Nah, man, lie. Hey, that's gonna be, man. All right, the brother Tawabi called a precept. Let's get that. See what precept the brother called. He says, you got it.
Psalms 104:3. Who led the beams of his chambers in the waters, who made the cloud his chariots, who walked upon the wings of the wind.
Right? Hey, the chariots, clouds. When it's talking about cloud, man, it's talking about these chariots. Right? It's talking about what Esau calls unidentified flying object. What they think that they go fight against. Man, y'all done went crazy, man. Y'all done went stone cold crazy. In fact, man, the precepts is coming. All right, the precepts is coming. I see. Let's get that. 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians, it was at 1 and 7. I think I know what that is.
God, this is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1 and verse 7. And to you our trouble rests with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Yahweh and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
Khan. All right, see, hey, I don't want to read that one more time. That first verse.
Khan, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
Hey, he's coming with them angels. How's he coming though?
In a flaming fire, taking vengeance.
Hey, didn't you just read that in Isaiah?
Yeah, I didn't get to finish it. I wanted to finish that thing.
But Salakia, my bad. I got too excited.
But he says the same thing. You want me to get it?
He said, yeah, let's get it again.
God. It says, verse 15. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for behold, Yahweh will come with his fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Man,
for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many.
Yo, hey, that's why he's gonna be he gonna have a vesture dipped in blood.
That's right.
Hey, the slain is gonna be many. Oops, I still got that up there. We need to get that down. The slain is gonna be many. All right. So Revelation 12 and 5, it says, and she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God to his throne. Right. Let's go ahead. Give me verse 6.
Verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should feed.
The woman fled into the wilderness, right? The woman fled into the wilderness. And I think we kind of hit on it briefly a little bit in one of the other classes, but you know, dealing with the wilderness and what the wilderness is, right? But give me the book of Luke 21. The book of Luke 21.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21.
And give me verse 21. Give me Luke 21 and 21.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Salakia. Bump up one.
21 and 20. 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
What is this talking about? In the chat, what is this talking about? Right? In fact, I mean, Luke 21 and 20, right? Yahushua is speaking. He's speaking to the disciples. Right? I don't want get that again from the top for me.
This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Right? He said, when you shall see Jerusalem surrounded, right, you shall know that the desolation draw nigh. Right? This is speaking about he's prophesying. Yahushua is prophesying about what's going to happen. So when did this in fact happen? This happened in 70 AD, right? It was the sieging of Jerusalem, right? This is when the Romans came through and they destroyed it, right? They laid it waste. So Yahushua is giving them this prophecy. Hey, when y'all see it compass around, hey, the desolation draws nigh. Come on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Then he said, let them which are in Judea flee unto the mountains. Right? Revelation 6. Shema, get that again.
Verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
And the woman fled into the wilderness. Right? So now this is dealing with 70 AD.
That's
right? This is dealing when the Romans came in and they destroyed Jerusalem. Right? If you read the book of Timbuktu, they'll tell you that Israel, Salakia, that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Right? 70 AD, we were fleeing. We was getting away. Right? We was fleeing into the wilderness. We was getting off into Africa. We was going where we always went. Right? We went where, the angel told Mary and Joseph to go, or told Joseph to go. He said, go down into Egypt, Africa. Right? Negro land. That's where we went. We was in the wilderness. All right. Come on, verse 6 again. In fact, Salakia, real quick, let's precept that. Let's precept Luke. Give me Matthew 2 and 13. Right, again, just to show that that the wilderness that's being spoke about is really dealing with Africa.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2, and verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt.
And flee into where?
And flee into Egypt.
Right? They was fleeing into Egypt. Right? Yahweh Shai said, in fact, I'll grab it real quick. In Luke 20. Let me get that. All right, Luke 20 and where am I?
You want 21?
21. I'm tripping. Luke 21, right? It says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. Watch this. I'm going to read on. Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon his people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Again, this is why we have to go to all nations, right? Because we was led away captive into all nations, right? And it says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Who's in the land right now? Who's in the land today? Amalek is, right? So it can't be the people. We know we're not over there. That's but right. You need to ask this sometime to one of these Christians. We'll say that Jerusalem is going to be trodden down. So if the people are in the land already, then a lot of prophecy already had to come to pass. Hey, because it's supposed to be peace when the people get back in the land.
That's right.
So I mean, you got to make it make sense, right? I see a precept. She posted Luke 17 and 36. What that is? Luke 17 and 36.
It's a book of Luke, chapter 17 and 36. Two men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken, and the other left.
Okay, con. I see what the reason. I understand the reason why you pulled it, but that doesn't really precept with this one. But I understand why you went there though. All right. Let's go back to the book of Revelation again. We're in Revelation 12. Con.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should
Con, it said,
feed
well, she had
her.
a place prepared of the Most High, right? So what is this place that was prepared? In fact, read on.
That they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Right. And so I believe in one of the last classes that I also hit on that when you look at verse 6 is gone into more detail, or more detail is given about verse 6 in verse 14, right? But when it says where she hath a place prepared of the Most High, give me when we're talking about the place, right? That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with place. Let me get the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass.
Salakia. They like that's also a cut to those so-called who say that they are the people, right? They not as the sand of the sea, right? I think they got a number. They say it's only like I forget the exact number, but it's a small number in relation to the population of the earth. It's a small number, but they say that they're the people. But the Bible say that you're not gonna be able to number us, right? We gonna be like the sand of the sea. Come on.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it is said unto them, ye are not my people.
What was it? It said in the place that it was said unto them. Somebody throw that precept in the chat. Somebody throw that precept for me in the chat. It said, in the place where it was said, ye are not my people. Come on.
Ye are not my people. There it should be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Right? Hey, where it was said that ye are not my people, there's gonna be said, hey, you are the sons. You guys are, hey, that's them, right? The strangeness of their salvation, right? Where's the place where this is said at? Right? Well, they tell us that over here. They say, you guys ain't the Jews. You guys ain't Israelites. Y'all not the children of God. Y'all not the children of the Most High. Right? Ain't nobody got that precept yet. Golly, man. All right. I ain't even go. Let's keep it moving. Right? Let's go ahead and let's go to verse number 7.
Verse 7. And there was war in heaven.
And there was what?
And there was war in heaven.
So is that talking about, again, a literal heaven? Do y'all think that there is? Now I already know what the Christians think. Christians already think, yeah, man, Lucifer rebelled against God, and he took a third of the angels with him. Really? All right. So now the Most High is letting his angels rebel in heaven where he at. They having a war in heaven. I mean, this is going on right in front of the Most High, huh? He just sitting watching. He got some popcorn. He just sitting back in his lazy chair, watching like he watching a TV program. La is there a war literally in heaven? La right? Let's grab me the book of Isaiah, chapter 34. All right, these Christians, man, that have y'all confused as hell.
Isaiah 34. What verse?
Let's start it from the top.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, from the top. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it.
Mm-hmm.
For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Come on.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Right. So real quick, right? So again, is saying, let's start at I'll go back to verse 1 real quick. It said, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth. Right. We're talking about the earth. Okay. And the nations that are going to be destroyed. Right. We're dealing with the nations that are going to be destroyed. Come on, let's go to verse 4.
Verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
They shall be what?
All the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
Is this talking about the host that's actually in heaven? Is that what that's saying? That they're all going to be dissolved? Right? All you really got to start doing is using some critical thinking and doing like the Bible actually tells you to do. Through the precepts, I get understanding. Right? Read on.
And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, and the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Now, verse 5.
For their sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Salaki, get that one more time.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Upon what?
Upon Idumea.
What is Idumea? What is Idumea? He said that the sword shall be bathed in heaven. It's going to come down upon Idumea. Right? This is not talking about the heaven where the Most High is, where he resides. It's not talking about the heaven that we can look up to and see the sky. It's not talking about that. Right? It's Edom. Idumea is Edom. Right? This is why we say, and this is why we know that Edom, in fact, Edom has no place for repentance. Edom is going to be destroyed. Right? The Bible says that the sword is going to be bathed in blood. It's going to come down upon Idumea, which is Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. What does that mean? The people of my curse, right, unto judgment. Right, let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 9. What is Edom for? In the chat, what is the purpose of Edom? Sword of Yahweh, right? Edom is here for one reason and one reason only. Right? Give me the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 17.
You got it, Shemai?
Yeah, I got it. It's the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
He said, and this is talking about Pharaoh, the Egyptians who had us in the captivity. What did Pharaoh do? Hey, Pharaoh kept saying, nah. But why? Because, hey, the Most High hardened his heart. Right? Was Pharaoh just like, nah, I ain't letting him go? Hey, the Most High hardened his heart. Right? Romans is saying, hey, for this purpose. Right? Come on, read.
that I might show my power in thee, and that my name my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Pharaoh was rose up just for that purpose, just so that the Most High is going to show his power, right? So every nation is going to say, man, that God of Israel, hey, yo, that's the, that's the one true real God, Israel's God, right? For that purpose only. So, and that's another cut when people try to say that the Most High loves everybody. Did the Most High love the Egyptians? No, lie. He rose them up for one purpose and one purpose only. Esau, he rose up for one purpose and one purpose only. Right? Hey, they're vessels, like Tarabia just said, fit for destruction. Right? That's it. All right, let's go back to that again. Revelation 12 and 7. And I'm gonna wrap up. I'm sorry, Salagi, I don't want to take too long, but I want y'all to get this information, and then we're gonna probably skip some scriptures.
Verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right. So the dragon is Esau. His angels is going to be what? Is going to be his little firepower, his armies, his soldiers. Right. These are his angels. Okay. And now, so we know that this is, again, it's a physical thing, but it's also a spiritual thing as well, also too. So I don't want to just say don't want to hit or skip over that there is a spiritual component to this. Real quick, grab me in fact, I want to prove that this isn't again talking about a literal heaven. I believe we really kind of already proved that with Lamentations, but give me the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 20. I'm gonna give y'all some more daggers. Make sure y'all got y'all tool belt, equipped.
Con, this is the book of Judges. This is book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 20. They fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera.
Right. In fact, let's start at 19.
19. The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan and Tananach by the waters of Medigo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven.
They fought from where?
They fought from heaven.
All right, so it just said who was fighting, right? Are they fighting in the sky? No, right? But it says they fought from heaven. So now again, when we look at what it means when it says and that there was war in heaven, it's not talking about literal heaven. All right, we got to get out of all that mysticism. All right. Let's go back to again. In fact, give me Ephesians 6 and 12.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Okay, kind. So now there is a spiritual component to it, right? When Daniel was fasting and praying, and we're not going pull it because we're running over. But when Daniel was fasting and praying, right? How many days did he fast for? All right, come on in the chat. How many days did Daniel fast for? Right, while he was fasting and praying, right? 21. Con, all praises. While Daniel was fasting and praying, when the angel finally came to him, what did he say? He said, "Hey, I got held up." What did he say? The prince of Persia, right? Held me up. He said I had to wait for Michael to come and help me. All right. So there is a spiritual component to it. That's why Sister Joanne 21. There is a spiritual component aspect to it. All right. We got to understand that. Right. A lot of the things that we go through is we go through spiritual things. Right. We come under spiritual attacks. Right. You guys got to understand that. Sometimes you got to fast and you got to fall on your face. And you got to call out to and pray to the Most High.
God.
Right? It takes that. If you really feel, if you going through something, I'm not going to say if you really feel like it, but if you going through something and it's getting overwhelming and you're like, man, I don't know how much more I can do, how much more I can take. Fall on your face and fast and pray. God. Seek the Most High.
That's right.
Right? I don't think as a nation of people, we fast enough. We pray enough. Hey, we need to really call out to the Most High to get us up out of this captivity. Like I said last class, hey, we too comfortable, man. We done got too comfortable in this captivity. And I'm not talking about us, Israel, but even us sometimes. Hey, we get too comfortable. Right? But for those that are still lost, for those whose eyes have not been opened yet, for those who are still thinking, hey, man, the Most High loves everybody and it's all good and, pray for you. God's got a blessing with your name on it. I'm talking about them.
Right.
Right. They is too damn comfortable. Right. We too comfortable. But anyway, so it is a spiritual component to it. But let's go back to the book of Revelation 7 and where we at? Salakia, Revelation 12 and give me verse 8. And we go rapid fire now.
Verse 8. And prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right? There's no more place found for them in heaven. Right? We go take over rulership. That rulership is coming to us. The kingdom is for us. Right? Give me Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12 real quick. Right? Because, hey, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
God, right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How art thou fallen from heaven? Right? Again, hey, Lucifer, hey, get it out your head that this is talking about an angel, that this is the devil with the little horns who caused the war in heaven. You got to get that out of your head. That's not what this is talking about. Right? It says, how art thou fallen from heaven? Come on.
O Lucifer, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? Now we can go further into that, but I just wanted to point out that when it says there's no more place found for him in heaven, hey, the first is going to be last and the last is going to be first. Right? Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Okay, come on. Let's get verse 9. Revelation 12 and 9.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
It said, he was and cast... that old serpent, Salakia, it said, and the great dragon was cast out, right? Esau was cast out, that old serpent and the devil. So now Esau is being compared to what? When it says that old serpent, what is Esau was just compared to? It said that old serpent called the devil. What does devil mean? Right? What does devil mean? Devil means deceiver. Right? That's why we call these crackers devils. Hey man, y'all are some deceivers. And Satan, what does Satan mean? Satan means adversary. Right? That old deceiver. That old serpent. Right? When it's saying that old serpent, what is it talking about? Who's that old serpent? Come on. Let me see the answers in the chat. Who is that old serpent when it's saying that? Come on. Where's y'all at? Where's my scholars at? Where's my Bible studies at? The old serpent. Right? Give me let's get it again. Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1.
God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
It said the what?
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Said the serpent, right? It said now in Revelation it said that old serpent. So now when it said that old serpent, it's talking about this serpent, right? Esau it has that same spirit that was in the garden, right? That same spirit, that same deceiver, that same adversary, operating under the same spirit, right? Now, isn't that a Canaanite? Well, I mean, I know that some people teach that was a Canaanite, and I could see why, they teach that. But now, when we look at I'll say that for another time. We'll go into that. We'll deal with that. I'm not gonna deal with that tonight because of the time. Come on.
The key word is the spirit of. That's the key word. Having the spirit. Yeah, some people do say that's the Canaanite, but that he had the spirit, which bled over into Esau.
Right.
That's that spirit, which was a wicked spirit.
Right. Con. All right. So that old serpent, right, called the devil, which devil means deceiver, and Satan, which means adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. Now, somebody tell me what that means. Deceiveth the whole world. How's the whole world deceived? How is the whole world deceived? There it is, white Jesus. Right? White Jesus. In fact, let's go into that. Give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 20. Caesar Borgia. How do you say it? Damn, Edomite.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 20. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored as a man.
Wait, read that again.
You want me to get verse 19? Start 19.
Yeah.
Verse 19, for he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
And it was men. What?
This was an occasion to deceive the world.
Right? Hey, this side of this side of the world is deceived, thinking that white Jesus, right? Looking at this homosexual, thinking that's Yahushua.
That's right.
Thinking that them crackers that's over there in Israel is the true Jews.
God.
Right? That's how the world is deceived. They don't what it say in Hosea? Hey, I would call them my people who are not called my people.
God,
right? Because they say we're not the people. Come on, Adawan.
I got to give Ashaya some props again. She is right. That's exactly why they took this apocrypha out.
Facts.
That's you can't be more right. I'm gonna teach a class on that about the apocrypha coming up, and I'm gonna show you why they took the apocrypha out. And the Protestant movement said, you know, we got to get this out of here because this is gonna reveal who the true Satan, who the devil is.
That's right. That's right.
I butcher your name. I'm sorry. Ayasha.
Con. All right. So Revelation 12, and then so like all right. Let's go ahead and jump to verse 11.
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimonies.
Uh-huh.
And they loved not their lives unto death.
Right. So it says that they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. What's their testimony? Right. Let's get give me Psalms chapter 132. Psalms chapter 132 and verse 11.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 132 and verse 11. And Yahweh have sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony,
and his what?
And my testimony, that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore.
Right. So this is the testimony, right? Revelation 12 and 11. Read that one more time.
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Right. And they loved not their lives unto death.
All right, come on. So again, do I want to hit verse 14? No, I'm not gonna hit verse 14. In fact, yeah. Con. Let's get it. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle,
right,
that she might fly into the wilderness.
All right,
so her place.
This is them escaping into the wood into Africa, right? And then it says that they that she would fly into the wilderness, and they and into her place, right? So again, her place is where they are not going to be called the children of the Most High God, right? That's what it's going to be said, that you are the children of the Most High, right? Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
All right, so it said that in hunger, in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. So back in Revelation 12:14, what it says, into her place where she is nourished for a time, right? We was going to be in want of all things, right? Food, clothing, right? So that's why where it says that we're nourished for a time. Okay, come on, read on.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
All right, so let's jump back to Revelation 12 and 14.
12 and 14 from the top.
Con.
From the top. And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent.
All right, Con. So real quick, so Tawabia, I wouldn't, well, when we say could that be a time of repentance and grace, so you know, I I would definitely say that you can look at it as because we're in a grace period now, right? Since Yahushua went to the cross, right, and was killed, we've been in a grace period, right? In fact, give me the book of Acts, chapter 3 and 17.
Con, this is the book of Acts, chapter 3 and verse 17. And now, brethren, I wot that through ignorance ye did it, as did also your rulers.
Mm-hmm.
But those things which Yahweh before had showed by the mouth of all of his prophets.
Salakia, my bad, 17 and 30.
Acts 17 and 30.
Con of the one.
Okay, Con.
That was my bad. I caught the wrong precept. In fact, let me go there real quick and make sure that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. Acts 17 and 30.
Con, this is the book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 30. And the times of this ignorance Yahweh winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Right? So, hey, the times of the ignorance, hey, the Most High was winking at. The times when we was eating pork, the times when we were going off not keeping the commandments, the time when we was going off not keeping none of the law, when we wasn't keeping Passover, when we wasn't keeping tabernacles, when we wasn't keeping none of the holy days, right? Hey, those times of ignorance, the Most High winked at, right? But now he's commanded all men everywhere to repent, right? So now that grace period, yeah, you can't say it is talking about a grace period because we still in captivity right now. Right, we're still in captivity. We have not left captivity yet. In fact, there was another precept even on that, but for the sake of time, we'll come back and we'll deal with that another time. But let's go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 14, because it's key here when you look at how we were nourished, right? And this goes back again to Deuteronomy, right? So Shema, get that again for me. Revelation 12 and 14.
Verse 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent.
Right, from the serpent. That's where that nourishment is coming from. Right, from the serpent. We already know who the serpent is. Right, the serpent is Esau. Right, the serpent is that red dragon. That what does it say? That old serpent, that great dragon, right? That's who the serpent is. Esau. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
So when it says that he cast out water out of his mouth as a flood, what is that talking about? Right, again. So now, is this literally talking about, okay, there's a snake and he's spitting out water, right? And that water is coming out like a flood? No, that's not what what it's talking about, right? Give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, Isaiah 59 and 18. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. Okay, let's get an understanding of what this means.
This is
the book of Isaiah. Okay.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 59, and what?
Verse 18.
Verse 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Like a what?
Like a flood.
So it said when the enemy is going to come in like a flood. Come on, read on.
The spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him.
Right. So again, so now, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood. Right. That's them coming against us. Right. But that's not just them coming against us. Right. That's also, you know, the lies that's being told. Right. The lies to deceive us. Right. Him casting out of his mouth water as a flood, lying, hey, telling us we're not Israelites, telling us we're Negro, we're niggas, telling us that we're Gentiles. Right? Come on, Adawan.
That false doctrine.
Oh, that false doctrine, right? That's all of that. Right? So that serpent cast this stuff out, right? To keep us deceived, to keep us lost, right? To keep us in our sin. That's right. To keep us believing that, hey, the law is done away with. Right? All right. Go to verse 16.
Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth.
Right. And the earth helped the woman. The earth helped the woman. How does the earth help the woman? Right? It said, and then swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. So the earth helping the woman, right, is what is doing what? Is swallowing up these lies. Right? How's the earth helping the woman? Let's get Psalms 85. Psalms 85 and verse 11.
You said Psalms 85 verse 11?
Count out one. Psalms 85 and 11. How does the earth help the woman?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 85 and verse 11. Truth will spring out of the earth.
Truth
shall spring out of the earth. And righteousness shall look down from heaven.
Right? So this is how the earth is helping the woman. Yes. Truth is springing up out of the earth. Right? Archaeology.
That's right.
Right? Truth is springing up out of the earth. Right? We can go through and look at artifacts showing who the Israelites are.
That's right.
Right? This Bible, right? This Bible, when we actually start breaking down, we can see who we are by actually reading the book and be like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. This right here, this is the truth. We are the true Israelites. We are the people of the book. Right? This is how the earth swallows up that flood. All those lies that's been told. All those lies that we have been given is being exposed. It's coming to light now. And these devils can't deal with it. These devils hate it. These devils hate the fact that we're going around saying we are the Israelites.
That's right.
We got all these people coming up against us. The no caps Malones.
That's right.
All cap Malone. I ain't gonna call him no cap. That's all cap
that's
Malone.
Cap all the time.
Right?
Crazy.
Come on. Let's get come on, Adawan.
A lot of what you're talking about, the manuscripts that came up out of them caves,
right?
And it was dug up to show, to verify the Bible as true.
Come on,
where it discredits everything that Esau will be trying to say in these cemetery schools. You know what I'm saying? And our people, Jake, be up in there, and then they try to teach us that nonsense.
Right. Just spitting the same foolishness that had us kept us stupid in the first place.
That's that water that's coming out of the serpent's mouth.
Khan with Khan. All right. And so let's go ahead and get that last verse.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
So the dragon, again, who is the dragon? Esau, the Edomites. They angry with the nation of Israel. Upset, looking to make war against the remnant of her seed, which do what?
which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Right, which keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Hey, that's who the dragon is wroth with.
That's right.
It ain't nobody else. Who's the only ones who's keeping the commandments, who's keeping the laws, and have the faith of Christ? That's why they come up against us so much. That's why, Israel, when you see these people trying to destroy the doctrine, trying to tear down the doctrine, this is why. That dragon, that old serpent, that devil is upset. And he knows his time is short.
Yeah, because they know when that 1/3 is sealed, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man.
Salaki, I'm gonna tell the crowd, we're not gonna go there, but go to Psalms 83. You see, the devil, that serpent, spit them lies out to the whole world and got them confederate against our people.
Right.
Throughout the ages, not just for one little time, but throughout the ages. Psalms 83 tells you. That devil got to go. Obadiah. That's what I say.
Con. Hey, and so with that, yo, Yasha Allah. Hey, that's Revelation 12. All right.
Go break down, King.
Con, the water out of one. All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High.
So yeah, I hope y'all was edified. I hope y'all took notes. And so with that, again, we got the Passover. Cap already came out, said everything. I ain't gonna harp on that, but come out. And other than that, brothers got anything?
God, I just can't wait to meet. I can't wait to meet a lot of the people in the chat and see them for the first time at the Passover. That's gonna be nice. I can't wait to see everybody. I hope everybody come. Make sure you got your garments on, brothers. Wearing them garments. Be coming up in no t-shirts. We'll have to turn you around at the door.
Right. Big facts. All right. And with that, Yasha Allah, we give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Hey, the water for kicking it with us. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
You are tuned into AnointedHOS. You are tuned into AnointedHOS.